Welcome, morning first graders. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the reading room. Oh my goodness, I missed you. And hello if you were in class. Hi. And hello if you're at home. How's it going? So today is Tuesday, not Monday. Yesterday we had off from school, and we had off from school because it's a day to honor this awesome guy named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Have you seen his face before? Have you heard about him before? You're going to learn lots about him in Miss Heller's social studies room today. But I wanted to read a story about him. And do you remember last week when we talked about author's purpose? Remember it was like the author's purpose pie, the P-I-E, right? What's the P stand for? Persuade, right? Persuasion, where the author would write a story trying to persuade you to believe in something or to do something or not to do something. Then the I was for inform, right? To give you information, to teach you about something or someone. And E was for entertainment, where I read the book with no pictures. Did you like that story? Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I love reading that story. It's great entertainment. So today we're going to focus on, and we're going to learn all about Dr. Luther King Jr., but the author's purpose of this story is to inform you, is to teach you about this awesome, awesome man. Now, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he lived a long time ago, and it was different then. A lot of times things were segregated back then, and that's a huge word. That's a big word. But there was different places where you could go to school depending on what you looked like. There was some school where there were really nice schools, and only if you had white skin you could go there. And then there was other schools that weren't so nice, and that was for the students who had darker skin or black skin, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. There were other things that had to be segregated. Remember, that's a big word for separated. There were certain stores or certain restaurants that people couldn't go in if they had black skin or dark skin. There were certain water fountains you had to use if you were, or certain different bathrooms used. A lot of things were separated, and it was not fair. It was not right. No one should be judged by what they look like. It's the inside that counts. And that is what Dr. Martin Luther King really believed in. We're going to read this story all about it, how he made a big difference. Okay. It's called, so this story is the title's on the back. It says Martin's Big Words, the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, so the title's on the back. It kind of tricks you there, but it's won 3 different awards. It's such an awesome story. Okay, so we're going to read. It's going to take us through his life. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of pages here. Okay. Now, this is him as a little boy. Okay, remember I was talking about those, sometimes they're segregated, right? Separate places or separate things. So this was for people who had white skin only. And then this was the other water fountain for no reason, just because of what they looked like. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs, white only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. That's true. You are as good as anyone, no matter what you look like. So there he is. In church, Martin sang hymns he read from the Bible. He listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Okay. Martin's big words. So he's listening, right? He's paying attention. He's like, I'm going to have big words too when I grow up. I got a lot to say here. Martin grew up. He became a minister like his father, and he used the big words he had heard as a child from his parents and from the Bible. Everyone can be great. Everyone can be great, even you. Yeah, no matter what you look like. He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a weapon. Martin said love when others said hate. This is a really awesome quote or saying. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that, right? If someone's doing something wrong, more wrongs don't make a right. Did you ever hear that before, right? You got to fix it. Right? If you're saying all these hateful things, another person says hateful things, it's just a big mess. Only love can fix it. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King was all about. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. We're going to have to figure that out, he said. We can't go on like this. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. So here, listen to this law. It seems really silly, okay? She's an older woman. She's on the bus and she's tired. She's sitting down. And then a man goes, you got to get up. Get up. Just because she looks different than him. Right. That was a law back then. She said, no, this isn't fair. She got arrested for it. She broke the law. That was a silly, not fun law. That was not a fair law. Montgomery's Black citizens learned of her arrest. It made them angry. They decided to not ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. So they boycotted the buses. That means they refused to ride the buses. They're like, you know what? That's not fair. We're not going to pay for the buses anymore. See if you can run your bus system without us. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, someone will say there lived Black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. Because everyone has rights, no matter what you look like. And they chose a way of using their words, not so much violence or hurting anybody, right? They chose to, hey, we're not going to use your buses anymore. You're not going to make money off us anymore. It's not fair what you're doing. And they made a difference. In the next 10 years, Black Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop, but they kept on marching. Wait. For years, I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. It's time to change. All of us are created equal. They were thrown in jail. They were arrested, but they kept on marching. Some Black Americans wanted to fight back with their fist. Martin convinced them not to, by remembering them of the power of love, right? Like, don't do that. No, right? Hate cannot drive out hate. Love is the key to the problems of the world. He said, keep marching. Use your words. Refuse to do something, but do not do any violence, right? That is not going to help us. Many Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to hurt him and his family, but he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped because God is with this movement. And it is very powerful. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. So here's a really famous quote. You might see in my room right here, right? It might say, I have a dream, and other teachers in their Bitmojo saying, I have a dream, we have a dream, right? This is from one of Dr. Martin Luther King's famous speeches where he talked in front of thousands of people in Washington, D.C. And he started out with, I have a dream, right? It's not like a dream where you go to sleep, right? He's almost like, I want to see the future brighter. I want to see the future better for everybody, right? So that is my dream. That's what I wish to come true. And I can see it. I can feel it almost. So he said, I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little Black boys and little Black girls will join hands with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protest, the lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. Remember, that's that big word I told you about. The white-only signs in the South came down. So this quote right here, okay. Remember I talked about in the beginning that there was schools, right? There was different schools. Well, schools back then weren't like how they were here. In our classrooms in Riverside, almost all of us look different. right? Different shades of skin, different hair color. We might speak different languages, but we all have the right to be in the classroom together, okay? No matter what we look like. But back then, there was schools where you had to look like everyone else to go there. So I might not be able to teach some of you, and that would make me really sad. That wouldn't be fair, right? Just because you look different from me doesn't mean I can't teach you, right? So things started to change after Martin Luther King kind of almost woke everyone up to this isn't fair. This isn't right, right? So he said, I have a dream that little black boys and little black girls would join hands, right? They'll be in class together, right? As one, as a class, as even at Zoom school, right? We could be Zooming together no matter what we look like. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. Kind of that word, that's a big word, kind of like looked up to him, like kind of really listened to him. He was really, I guess, like he was such a great leader that so many people really said, yeah, what he's saying makes sense. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words and not fists. So his big words are alive for us today. Right. So this has all the important dates of his life too in there. We celebrate, so we had off from school yesterday for this awesome guy, but we have it because his birthday is January 15th. Now, yesterday was not January 15th, but they do it around this time. They make it a Monday. So you have a 3-day weekend, right? And it's just a good day to remember how he impacted all of our lives, how he changed it for the better. Now, remember, this isn't all you're going to learn about him, right? When you go to Miss Heller's room in social studies, you're going to learn more about him too. Okay. He's one of my favorite people. My goodness. I love this book. I love Martin's big words. He's so inspirational. Okay. And he made a difference. And because of him and others too, and we'll learn more about how people made change and made difference, I think in February. But I am so happy I get to teach you, even though you don't look like me. That makes me so happy. What makes us awesome is how we are different and we all come together. Okay. So whether we are in school or whether we are at home, I'm so happy I get to be your teacher, and I'm so happy we can all be there together. And remember, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Okay. So make sure we love one another no matter what we look like. Okay. Because it matters what's on the inside. Okay. I'm going to give you an air hug. Oh, did you feel it? Yeah. Okay. Have a great day. Okay. And love each other.